Last year we staged 6 talks, and I talked to a lot of people about what companies excite you in the London tech scene, and TransferWise comes up again and again. Let's go back. It was mentioned that you were the first employee at Skype. Tell me how you go from working in that company to starting this company.
I think, first of all, my journey getting into Skype was also already kind of entrepreneurial.
But when you look back at what Skype was in those early days, what excited you about it?
It was the year 2002, so Wi-Fi was still pretty new, and the idea that you can use your computer and not be tied to a physical cable was quite exciting. And then as we were working on the Wi-Fi sharing idea, we were thinking about, so what can you do with Wi-Fi sharing? And then kind of a light bulb went on in someone's head, like, can you make phone calls over Wi-Fi?
So the TransferWise story, as I understand it, really started when you moved to London. Is that correct?
Very true. So at one point in 2006 or 7, I moved from Estonia to London. But I still stayed on the payroll for Skype in Estonia. So every month I had to do a walk of shame and go to the local bank branch in Tallinn and transfer my living cost to London. And every month as I was doing it, I was realizing that, first of all, it's really awkward to go to the bank and stand in line every month. And second, when I send €1,000, I'm expecting to receive £800, if I look at the exchange rate on Reuters. But in reality, I receive 750 or like a different amount. That's when I felt the frustration of, first, it's a really awkward process, and second, some of the money just goes missing.
Going back to turning it into a business, how did that happen? Were you still with Skype at the time, or had you already left?
No, I had left Skype already, so I was thinking about doing something entrepreneurial, Christo as well, and we realized we had this little, let's call it a little method for exchanging money. And then we realized there are so many other people who need the very same thing, but the problem is they don't have the trusted friends they can use.
Right.
So we thought, okay, could this be turned into a business? We built a prototype, we applied for a license with the FCA, we got our first license, and then we launched it. And then 15 minutes after that, the first guy sent us £2,000.
We should probably explain how TransferWise actually works, how you manage to not charge people the fees that they would get charged if they sent money via banks.
If we simplify the world to London and Paris, people send money from London to Paris, and people send money from Paris to London. And all we're doing is we're matching these money flows. So essentially, there's no need to move money from London to Paris because there are people who need this money in London. So we're just doing matching between 2 pots of money, let's put it this way.
But that also requires you to have money ready to use or deploy in different markets, doesn't it?
No, it actually doesn't. It requires a leap of faith that you have people on both sides.
Right.
And to be honest, when we launched the service at first, we never promised anyone to make a money transfer. We told people, hey, give us your money, and then we're hoping we can match it with someone else's money.
Sounds a bit
and pay you
dubious.
out.
I'm not sure I would have given you my money.
That's why I think the first guy who used us deserves a medal.
Yeah.
Who doesn't want something which is faster, easier to use, and saves you money?
Good point.
That was a very strong signal that there's something here that people want, so we better get on with it.
So we mentioned a couple of your notable investors. Richard Branson, of course, is one of Britain's best-known entrepreneurs and investors. What did that do for the company to have him come in?
It gives us credibility. So when we went back to the trust question, I think us being able to say that Sir Richard Branson is an investor in TransferWise helps us overcome some of these trust questions.
Peter Thiel, so he's an interesting character. He, along with Elon Musk and others, started PayPal. What's it like to have him as an investor?
Fintech and building better financial services is something which he is no stranger to. It's a privilege and an honor to meet and talk with him about these things.
When did you realize it was going to be, I mean, it's a difficult question, but successful, having been part of what was an incredibly successful startup with Skype?
Do you think it's successful now?
You certainly have the attention of a lot of significant people who are smart with their money.
I would say we're still just getting started. Things are definitely successful, but I don't think anybody could or should sit down now and start celebrating.
Now you talk about taking on the banks. Was that the message from the outset?
Actually, no. When we started, we called it peer-to-peer foreign exchange. Who the hell knows what that means?
Yeah, exactly. I don't even know what that means.
It took us a while to realize two things. First of all, what we're doing is what people refer to as money transfer.
Right.
And second thing, what we realized is that people come to us having used the bank previously. So it's easy to kind of position us that here's a service you get from a bank, here's what you get from us.
Do you have a vision that extends way beyond that into other services?
Money transfer is so big, it's going to take us a while to achieve our goals in money transfer. We've transferred more than £1 billion now,
right.
But if we think about the world, there's between 5 and 10 trillion that gets transferred every year. One of the things you learn as a startup is that being focused is so damn important.
Right.
And you can only really be good at one thing at a time.
How do you become the billion-dollar, $100 billion company that we're seeing out of Silicon Valley here when it seems like you're saving people money?
There is plenty we can take on, and that will build a very nice and sustainable global business.
Thanks a lot for getting this year's Cass Tech Talks off to a great start. It's been amazing to watch the success of TransferWise up until now. Long may it continue. Thanks very much.
Thanks, man.